when they prevailed, in order to encourage them to fight against the Soviets. Also, the Taliban did. They promised to the Americans to stop the cultivation of opium, and they did. And the Americans didn't fulfill the deed. All of these things. However, against this, there was a very substantial opposition to Taliban, but in northern Afghanistan and the non-Bataan areas. The Taliban have always been a Pashtun movement, and what we are seeing is, if anything, the emergence of a Pashtunistan, not because of American planning, but simply because of a resurgence of Pashtun nationalism in a nation that was deliberately divided by the British. And I'm simply adding to the complexity of the issue. There are no straightforward answers.
Great, thank you. And at the back.
Sorry, just a question for Dr. Zahid. You talked about the American military opinion writer who talked about the Balkanisation of Pakistan. What did he write about the position of Pakistan's nuclear weapons?
Okay, I think there was a question right next door. My question, what's going to happen to the existing trade agreements that Pakistan has with the neighbouring countries, i.e. China, especially regarding the Gwadar port? Will they still be in existence, or are they going to be set aside if the Balkanisation of Pakistan takes place? Okay, I think 2 questions by Lisa.
Okay, in relation to the nuclear weapon, in the article you wrote, is that scenario where Pakistan overtaken, the nuclear weapons are overtaken as well. And this concurs with the media reporting over the last few weeks, when where Taliban were accused of overtaking Brunei 60 kilometers away from Islamabad and the possible overtaking of the nuclear weapons. But in reality, the nuclear weapons are very secure in Pakistan. The nuclear program is under the supervision of the military within Pakistan, and there's no accessibility to that nuclear program. And the Americans themselves, in Washington Times and New York Times, mentioned the nuclear program is very safe in terms of academics and observers. So there's a lot of hysteria out there that Taliban overtake Pakistan, they overtake the nuclear program, and there's a nuclear crisis within the region. This is false and misinformation. The nuclear program in Pakistan is very secure at this moment in time. And the third issue is trade agreements. The agreement's been made with the federal government. Now the federal government's gone, the agreement's gone as well. The agreement was made with President Musharraf and continued with President Zardari. Now if the federal government goes, then the agreement goes out the window as well. So there's nothing to continue with the agreement. So this is the reason as to why the Americans want micromanagement, where they have new administrations in different provinces, so they can kind of develop new agreements for their own interests within the region.
Just one comment here. In my view, American efforts to manage the area have all failed. And America has blown it. It is not working. Obama is going to send thousands of more troops into Afghanistan. It is simply going to make the situation worse. I think we can overblow the influence of outside powers. They're trying to stir it, that's for sure. But what we're looking at now, importantly, are local autonomous development.
That's great. I have a few more hands. That's great. We're going to take the 2 questions at the front here.
Thank you very much for this. I just want to ask about the religious differences you mentioned, the different schools of thought. I think if I was to ask the question, what school of thought is the Dari representing? What school of thought is the Dari representing? Because I don't think people look at the school of thought, they look at what the leader, what is he implementing, what policies has he got to the state to take the country forward, rather than which is exaggerated, the religious differences between the schools of thought is exaggerated. Differences between the Muslim schools of thought have been in existence for ever since the dawn of Islam 1,300 years ago.
Just a quick response to that. I think the answer is that the Dari and most government officials in Pakistan are seen as members of a westernized Davy who have no commitment to any religion at all. That's the popular view.
Definition issue. You have, as we all aware, war crisis. What Sharia agreement bill between the Taliban and the Pakistan government. And then it was only after the visit to America you see the military action take place. So there's been a lot of influence towards that region from outside, and this is very